seems it's out of the hospital. It's back in action. So we are casting Starladder RoX.KIS versus Empire. For anyone who's actually hearing this, if you hear this but you don't see anything on the screen, go ahead and refresh your streams real quickly. With all that being said, I'm LD. I'm joined here today by James, also known as 2GD. It's Starladder time, so quickly before we really get underway with the draft, I want to show you guys the standings for anyone who's wondering sort of what's the context for this match. Starladder is wrapping up as far as the group stages go. I think it's like in the last week or so of games to be played. RoX.KIS has not played many games, but they're sitting at -1 points. They're 2-0-4, which basically means they have a very outside shot at, I think if they're not mathematically eliminated from qualifying for the LAN finals, they're damn close. On the other side, we have Empire sitting at 4th place, but obviously they lost Funnick, so... well, can they have a good sort of home stretch run here to secure a spot at the LAN finals? We'll find out as this game progresses. With all that being said, James, thank you for bearing with my exploit issues, and good to have you aboard. I guess it's your first non-shit talking appearance on VTS.
Yes, yeah. No, happy to be here. Nice to have like 4 intros. It's really good. Thank you for.
Well, you certainly feel like comfortable with this game.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, like what you said, it's like, yeah, Team Empire currently 4th, still need to finish strong to get hopefully to the LAN finals. And with Vigos as the stand-in, I believe they can do so, despite obviously Funnick was a big hit to their lineup. Vigos plays a really, really good puck, and he's just been picked up now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Vigos playing the puck. And Undying, which is sometimes normally on the Empire team, is now being picked up by RoX.KIS. And just to recap what I said about RoX.KIS, yeah, they are certainly a team that can take down Empire, and they've got a stand-in as well, though. But normally they do seem to play pretty aggressive. So we'll see how they come out of the gates.
So Vigos, he's just been replacing Funnick directly at the 3 position. They haven't moved anyone else around, because I haven't had a chance to watch them since the roster changed.
I believe they have moved people around a few times. But it's only practice games that I've seen, so I'm not too familiar with exactly what they're doing, but I know that they have actually moved Scandal at least a couple of times in different positions, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, let's see. It could be, yeah, it should be interesting to see how the draft develops. It could be a Scandal puck going mid, and we could see the Darkseer off-laning. They have some options with their lanes. The one thing they do have is a Wisp, and finding the right place for the Wisp is always a tall order, especially when you're up against Undying CK. If they get some sort of ranged follow-up stun, like, say, a Lina, a Leshrac, that tri-lane gets very, very difficult, and Wisp may die without ever being able to tether away. So far, Empire has not directly banned those heroes that sort of combo well with the CK. They don't have to go aggressive tri-lane, but if you don't want to, then why pick Undying? So that's got to be on RoX.KIS's mind, and, well, curious to see what Empire's going to do with the rest of their draft, because right now they've given away a pretty strong offensive tri-lane to start the game.
Yeah, they have, but of course they're going to be the team that feels much more comfortable. But also, what you've missed out, and you were casting with Bruno earlier, is all their current picks are slightly bluey.
Bluey?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
So
I cast a popped collared game earlier, actually. It was pretty awesome. There's like a Rubik, a Pugna, and of course the team with more popped collars won. It was only fitting, so... there's a lot of horns. RoX.KIS, they've got the horns going on. All 3.
Jesus, I think we're onto something.
Yes, so it's blues versus horns.
Yeah. Also, though, it does seem that the Empire team, they are, like, honestly, that is a kind of disfigured, ugly lineup. I mean, only Wisp is probably the best looker out of that lineup so far. But anyway, we're in the ban, so Gyrocopter's been taken out from RoX.KIS, and also SD and also Bane's been taken out. Bane's been getting quite a bit of play over in Europe, it seems.
Yeah, I think I've seen him once in Southeast Asia, and he was played as a solo mid, was not very effective. I want to say it was Zenith who ran him. It's not a common pick in Asia. It's really only, I mean, even in North America, it's not that common. It's mostly just the CIS teams who seem to favor him.
Yeah, it is. The only one outside of the CIS teams that have been playing Bane quite a lot has actually been No Tidehunter. But I don't think they put EGM on it, and they didn't have great success last time. But anyway, the ban's almost finished now. So Juggernaut gone for RoX.KIS, and one more for Empire. And then, of course, RoX.KIS, and we'll be back to the final pick. So what kind of, what are you expecting, LD, out for both teams in terms of what do they need?
Well, Empire obviously lacking that combo hero for the Wisp. The CK is not available. They're banning the Juggernaut, which is something that for a while Infused was running back when Wagamama was captaining them, was the Juggernaut Wisp combo. Obviously, he's a great hero to have against Chaos Knight because if you try to initiate on him, you can just Blade Fury, basically dodge that projectile stun since it has more of a travel time since some recent patches. And, well, what's left? There's a Sven, there's... I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I guess Sven's sort of the obvious combo hero for Wisp. There's Tiny, but Tiny isn't really good in the laning stage, especially against heroes like Undying and CK. He really needs levels to hit his stride, and they're already kind of level starved because they have Wisp, Darkseer, and Puck. So we'll see. It's Empire, and it's sort of the new Empire. Something that I saw, which I'll just throw out there, even though it's probably no bearing on this game whatsoever, is I cast a Chinese game earlier, well, a Chinese team earlier who ran a Night Stalker Wisp combo. And I mentioned Night Stalker because, well, he's one of Vegas' signature heroes. We expect him probably on the Puck this game, but just something to mention. I guess the point is RoX.KIS is doing their best to ban the heroes that go well with the Wisp. So what's going to be left is somewhat limited.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
and yeah, of course, with the Puck, I do think it'll be Vigos, but it can still be Scandal, but I think Vigos is the best pick for it so far. Just I've seen him play it in some practice games, and he did play really well, so we'll see how it comes off. Of course, you know, I don't give much insight, LD, into this stage of the game with the bans and picks.
You did?
Because,
they banned a Horn hero.
They did
How
ban.
can they win now?
Yeah, but they were scared of Sven going over to Wisp because I was talking in the Red Pandas chat, and I was giving them some advice, and I was like, guys, I've got it. Queen of Pain, support tri-lane. And I tried to sell it to him. I was like, look, it's like a Venomancer with Blink. But they didn't buy it. They told me I was stupid.
Logic.
They told me I was stupid. I was like, it will work. I was like, it will work. And Singh told me I was retarded and I die of retardation and so I should go away. So I'm a little bit unconfident right now. But the Ancient Apparition gets picked up then.
I can't imagine Sing ever saying that. That really doesn't sound like him at all. And well, they go for
I
Ancient.
know. I was shocked.
They go for Ancient Apparition. Obviously, he'll be helpful against Undying. You can't really spam the Soul Rip on your team during the big team fights. Mag can go for an early mechanism, but RoX.KIS doesn't really have a heal-heavy lineup by any means, so this is a little bit of an unusual pick.
10 seconds
We'll see what they have in store, but they are lacking that initiating stun to go with the Wisp AA. So obviously, Puck Darkseer soloing, and then a tri-lane with the Wisp. It's a bit of a weak tri-lane, though. Wisp can at least escape with Tether, but AA is just walking fresh meat. And unlike heroes like Keeper of the Light, he's got to be relatively close to cast Cold Feet. I think it has a 500, 600 range cast range, so it's not a long-range spell at all. Empire is going to have trouble if they lane head-on against the tri-lane from RoX.KIS, and well, RoX.KIS going to have to tip their hand a little bit here. They haven't really picked up their hard support yet, so we'll see what it is now.
But I actually really like the AA pick. A, because it's blue, fits in with the Empire theme of things. And Chilling Touch is just so good these days. It, like, you know, if you're going to try lane with the Wisp and you get Chilling Touch off, the harassing power can be really good. But obviously, yeah, as you mentioned, lacking of stuns at least. So we'll see what Empire are going to pick up as their final pick, as Rubik gets taken by RoX.KIS.
Well, now they have the setup stun. If they want to go aggressive, they already have the Chaos Knight Undying. They're a little bit lacking on damage with this choice. They could have gone for something like the Lean on the Leshrac, so I suppose it's possible they could run a defensive tri-lane and just let Empire get some levels on the Wisp, maybe throw the Undying or the Magnus into the offlane. We'll have to see. Probably the Undying would go offlane and the Magnus mid, and then a tri-lane CK Rubik +1. Rubik is quite level dependent. I find this a little bit odd, though, because you have a very strong killing tri-lane with Chaos Knight Undying, +1, and that +1 being someone that has a lot of damage, like Lina or Leshrac. So, well, we'll see. RoX.KIS, not as clear if they want to go aggressive, and if they do, it's going to be a little bit harder to find the kills.
Yeah. So there we go then. So it looks like Tiny is going to be the big man for Team Empire being picked up. So I expect him, obviously, on the safe lane. So that's just going to be really, really dangerous. Tiny doesn't really need Chilling Touch to do a lot of damage per hit, but we'll find out how that works. And the scary thing, I mean, RoX.KIS, I don't feel too confident about their lineup here, in all fairness.
Well, it feels like it was a lineup that looked like they wanted to go aggressive. Then they go back for Rubik, which would be great if they didn't already have a setup stun.
5 seconds remaining.
Not going aggressive against Tiny Wisp is a recipe for getting just flat out crushed in the mid game,
Reserve time.
unless you're
5
getting a
seconds.
great trade. And they go
Ah, Warlock.
Warlock as the final
That's
choice.
awesome.
Okay, so looks like Warlock mag solo, and they're gonna run a tri-lane with the CK Undying Rubik. Well, we'll see if the tri-lane works, but I mean, talk about AoE now. That's pretty fearsome.
Yeah, no, Warlock is he's getting a lot of play recently over in Europe. He seems to be just really good with the ulti change on. Was it the Golem HP or just the damage?
There's a variety of things that got fixed. I know the big one was that the Flaming Fists was not proccing. That's his chance to do like a big AoE attack every time he hits.
Yeah.
I think it was like not the right percentage or something. It wasn't just that though. I think Fatal Bonds might have not been working properly as well. To be honest, I'm not really sure. I know there was like 3 or 4 things that were wrong with Warlock that got fixed, and
yeah,
I mean,
but
as a result, he's really strong now.
Yeah, since the change, a lot of teams definitely been picking him up, and I've seen that Golem get ultra kills in some games, even in practice games. It just hits so hard. So we'll see how they're going to play that. It'd be really interesting. But what do you think about the kind of lanes? What do you expect RoX.KIS to do? Because I guess they're the more interesting team with their lineup here.
Well, I mean, the only issue is they don't really have a strong solo to lane 1-on-1 against Darkseer. So whether they put especially if he's in the side lane, you could try to put the Warlock or the Mag there, but they're really going to struggle because he can just creep skip, he can tower dive you with Ion Shells, and early on, Skewer's not a great escape mechanism versus him because it's a low level. So if they go aggressive tri-lane, Darkseer is going to have just a whale of a time. And
well, I think Warlock versus Darkseer in a 1v1 is actually okay. It's not too bad for the Warlock. I mean, you're going to have...
It's okay. You have the heal. You're probably not going to die. But the issue is you cannot do anything to stop him from farming.
Yeah, I mean, and he can still go behind your tower as well and pull.
And be a dick.
Just generally, yeah. No, but that doesn't seem too scary as an option. So, yeah, maybe we'll see a try with Rubik, Chaos Knight, and also Undying, Magnus mid, and Warlock playing the offlane. Playing the against the Darkseer, not offlane. But we'll see. We'll see what they want to do. But I do still fancy somewhat Empire's lineup.
It's Tiny Wisp, but I mean, it feels like Wisp in European Dota is just virtually unstoppable. At least whenever I've watched him. I actually haven't seen him played in like the past week or two because it seems he's always banned immediately. But when he does see play, rarely does he lose, and especially in Empire's hands. And I'm interested to see how they adjust with Funnick not playing the Wisp and Silent now, taking the reins, so to speak. I guess the nice thing for Empire is, yes, they lost Funnick, but he wasn't their captain, so I believe it's Godblack on the Ancient Apparition. They don't have a stand-in or anything, so they still have the core roster together. They still have the team leader, and Funnick is still a very big pair of shoes to fill, but at least it's not also a captain's shoes, which is what Mouse is currently looking at as far as the new Na'Vi roster goes. So it's quite a bit less scary in that sense.
Yeah, and also the interesting thing about picking up Vigos as well, they could be soon to become one of the CIS's favorites in a way, because I felt when Na'Vi picked up Kurokai that by not having all Ukrainian lineup, they kind of lost a bit of their like magic that made Na'Vi what it was. And Empire getting Vigos is, you know, a big kind of fan plus for their lineup. So if they manage to get some good games out, because Virtus Pro, unfortunately, some of their recent matches, believe they lost versus Mouse Sports. I think it was in the D2L. Haven't been performing too great. Which was surprising because I thought Virtus Pro were going to continue to do good. So if they can make something happen with this lineup, Empire, and if Vigos wants to commit, that could be really good just for the kind of, you know, fan favorites momentum, and hopefully give Vigos some incentives to stick around and hopefully play and not just be a stand-in.
Also, so there's no more PGG. I mean, he's not really on a team that's doing a whole lot as of late in the Russian scene, and I know he was either reviled or loved, but he certainly drew a lot of attention from the fans, and you know, the loss of PGG, another blow to the Russian morale. So, I mean, Na'Vi, it's being invaded right now. We've got the Germans. I suppose the Italians may make a foray next. The French at some point, resurrecting Napoleon. Pretty soon, it's just going to be like one Ukrainian surrounded by all these forward invaders. But eventually, they'll push them out. That's sort of the Russian way.
They let the German in, yeah, but we'll see. So we just paused right now. What are we waiting on? Is it me? Should I unpause?
Yeah, let's go ahead and not do that. I'm gonna reconnect quickly, guys. I don't know why my in-game's not working. I will try restarting Dota 2 real quickly, though. So I do apologize for that. I have no idea. Dota 2 is a fickle beast at times, but you caress it gently and maybe it will respond warmly and with feeling.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that didn't sound right. Sounded just great to you.
It's not weird unless we make it weird, LD. Let's roll with it.
Hey, James, by the way, have you ever heard Flex is frantically PMing me right now?
What does he want?
He's telling me that I need to tell gods that it's skirmishes, not squirmishes. Have you ever heard him say that? Is that like an Australian thing or something?
I don't know. I haven't heard God say squirmishes.
He was saying it like all yesterday. It was actually driving me insane.
Maybe he took a bet. You know, there's some casters bets that they do when people cast together for a long time. Like we used to do this one ESL with me and Joe Miller, where basically there's just like you're casting a live game or a live show. There's a pad of paper between you and a pen, and you have to write down words that the other person has to get in. So you write down a word like orange or whatever, and then the other commentator has to try and get it in. Maybe he just took a bad bet of Pyrian Flex. And had to see how many times you could say squirmish before you.
That's a pretty bad bet. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, maybe he just won loads of money, man. He's gonna start his own studio now, beyond the river. Yeah. I just realised. You know your intro video. Yeah. I didn't realise that when it came up, the little clockwork was actually looking at a Dota map.
Oh yeah. That's like that was the coolest. That wasn't even my idea. I'm like, oh, just have a clockwork over a mountain, and the guy who developed it, it's like, yeah, it should probably be the Dota map. But it's like, actually, that's fucking brilliant. So we went with it.
I didn't even see it until today. It blew my mind.
We've been meaning to do like holiday themed ones and just just different fun things, but I'm a slacker. What can I say?
I would have got it quicker if it was called Beyond the River. You know, because there's a big river in Dota 2, isn't there, down the middle? You probably haven't seen it, but if you just go to the map now and have a look down the middle.
Following your camera.
Yeah, there's a river here.
Yeah.
And if you called it Beyond the River instead of Beyond the Summit, I would have instantly have got that.
I mean, Beyond the River doesn't really sound that sexy, though. It's just the other side of the river.
Yeah, well, rivers can be dangerous. People drown in rivers. I mean, what happens in the Summit?
Alright, we gotta cast this game. Stop distracting me. So quickly, on the Empire side, we're gonna have Vigos going as the Puck solo mid. Scandal on the off-lane Darkseer not going mid anymore, at least not this game. Blow Your Brain, playing the Tiny, heading to the safe lane. Silent on the Wisp. He's got Observers and Sentries picked up. They're gonna be defensive tri-laning, and last but not least, Godblack on the Ancient Apparition. And RoX.KIS off the bat, Smoke Gang.
Yep. We'll see if they can get it done. They've got their Warlock up here as well.
Well, on the side of RoX.KIS, we'll introduce them if we have a moment. Oh, go, grab him. Is he going to get it raised? That Rubik 290 move speed. Too slow.
And Wisp there as well, just to increase the speed of Ancient Apparition. They got out, so it looks like RoX.KIS are going to have to go back to their lanes.
Yeah, so on that side we have wow, that's impossible to pronounce. Scoreen? I'm going to call him Screen. On the Mag. Firmer on the Warlock. Looks like he's heading mid.
I think. Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was going to say the Warlock. I wouldn't be surprised if he just went safe lane, but it does look like it is going to be a Screen on the Magnus, going safe lane. Warlock mid versus the Puck. He's going to be played by Vigos, and then it's going to be offensive tri lane. So how do you fancy these two tri lanes? You've got AA, Wisp, and Tiny versus CK, Undying, and Rubik.
The only, I mean, generally you have to give the edge to the Undying tri-lane. The only issue I see is that Empire, or rather that RoX.KIS, a little bit lacking on damage. Undying can do a lot with decay spam, but I hear like Wisp can just sit back, and they can do a lot of pulls. You can see the Illusion Rune very fortunately picked up by the Radiant, so they're blocking the small camp. Looks like the Undying actually body blocked the pull camp. So without pulls, well, this lane gets very hard for Empire. Not having that access to that first set of pulls is going to make the lane significantly more difficult. What they could have done otherwise is just constantly pull the lane, and Tiny's a pretty difficult hero to dive at the early levels. He's fairly tanky with high HP, but the way the lane's developing, I would say going fairly well for RoX.KIS, and actually taking Chilling Touch at level 1.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Chilling touch, man. Level 1 is really good when you've got like someone like a Wisp with you as well. Just because your movement speed allows you to stay on the target, and it's just so much extra damage. You can even see now as they chase down the Undying. One stun, and that might actually be first blood incoming soon. Obviously, there's a turn and another decay that increases currently 6
He's got
stacks on
6
decay.
stacks. This is very dangerous, actually. They have a lift as well. Silent may die. He does have a tether,
dear.
but where can he tether to? There's nowhere to go. Oi, oi, oi. That's 6 decay stacks. You cannot mess with Undying in a tri-lane.
Yes. Blow your brains out, though, has another stunt. Let's see if he's not going to be able to get it out now. He's going to be taken
Disaster.
down, so that's 2-0, yeah. But Chilling Touch, level 1, it hasn't, it's not too surprising on the tri-lane, I found, at least on a safe tri-lane for an Ancient Apparition. But yeah, the Undying, pulling out 6 stacks of decay, unkillable, hence his name.
Yeah, that'll probably do it on the tri-lane. And you're right, it is a very, very powerful skill in certain situations. The only issue here is, had they had Cold Feet, that's a first blood, almost certainly, because they would have gotten the chain stun off, the avalanche into the tether stun, into the Cold Feet proc, and then the kill would happen. I don't think Cold Feet is really what you want to take at level 1 in this situation, but perhaps they were anticipating a tower dive and just wanted to get as many auto attacks off as possible. So, well, it didn't work, hindsight's 2020. But, I mean, that's just Undying in a tri-lane. Even if they don't have the most damage, if you try and chase him, like, that's... they literally chased him, like, up and around the river, back down in the lane. 6 stacks later, well, lane goes poorly. And with those 2 kills and a first blood, this lane is very impossible for Empire to do anything but just play defensively.
And RoX.KIS are definitely a momentum team. They really enjoy, I found, from watching some of their games, just being able to keep pressure on. They like to put a lot of pressure on their opponents. So, it's an optimal start for them, really, in the way they play. Also in mid lane, though, Vigos doing really well. Currently 13-6 against the stand-in for RoX.KIS on the Warlock, who's currently just 6-2. So Vigos doing great on his puck so far.
Yeah, the one thing that Empire does have going for them is both of the solos are actually dominating. As expected, the Darkseer is going to crush a Magnus, especially when the Magnus isn't mid. He can't really bottle crows easily. He will send the bottle out now. And with Warlock mid, you can use the courier a fair amount, but even if you're bottle crowing constantly, it's a much longer trip back and forth, and you don't have easy access to the runes. Also, Darkseer can creep skip if he wants. So yeah, the 2 solos really favoring Empire, and especially this puck can definitely turn the tri-lane around. Yeah, he's diving mid onto Firmer. Firmer, one more auto attack. Gonna go down. That early null talisman securing the kill for Vigos, and he's playing really well. 17-7 already.
Yeah, he's doing great, and also, I mean, you want to count really the lanes won and lost. I've always found when I listen to the guys in terms of when they talk about tactics, how many lanes you win and lose, or what it's okay to lose. But yeah, Vigos definitely is going to be winning this mid lane, and he's going to be able to have rune control with his perk. So that's a big win there. Of course, Warlock would like an easier time. Normally, we see him trying to get a mech if he's mid, because that's quite an easy item to pick up. But Firma's going to be a little way off it right now.
Yeah, or maybe that Midas. I think we saw that from Aoi 2000 on Dignitas, the first time that Warlock sort of re-emerged in the scene lately as a solo. But note this start, probably not. It's just something I personally like to see, because I like 2 rocks, and you ain't getting it if you go mech first for some time.
Well, Scandal's having a bit of a troublesome time bottom. Squirm chasing him away.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage. He may looks like he may have gotten skewered back into the tower and forced the surge away. Did survive. The thing is, Mag cannot really kill him until he hits level 6, but, I mean, getting that damage on Scandal, now he's going to have some free farm and be able to catch up quite nicely.
Yeah, well, actually, if Squirm was actually only 1 shockwave away from killing moments when Scandal went into the river. So that would have been a really big kill for the Magnus. But either way, yeah, Squirm's won a lot of time on his lane. He's going to be able to get some nice farm. Top rune is going to be for Vigos as well. Once we go into another port, it's going to be double damage. And he's going to be able to bottle up twice before collecting that.
Yeah, lane just got a lot harder for Firmer. Still no boots or bottle. He's sending out a
Vigos
bracer
is going
now.
for it.
Oh, this is a dead Warlock with no boots and Vigos having them. There's just nothing
Vigos
he can
has
do.
ulti.
Ulti and the orb. Should be a kill. Not going to drop it, actually.
Wow.
The heal is quite strong. He may have been able to get that, but could have been a trade and not something you want to risk.
I thought he would definitely be able to get that. I mean, the heal, level 3, Shadow Word, ran off just after the last attack from
Well,
Vigos.
also,
I thought he might have wanted to
Rubik
use
does
his
have a
ulti,
teleport scroll, and that may have been called out. Generally, the support player would say, hey, Rubik's got a TP, don't dive, and that may be what kept him back in the end, but Yeah, I think he might have been able to get it anyway if he just coiled immediately, but plays it safe. The last thing you want to do when you've already gotten a kill in your lane is just feed one away because you're being a little bit over-aggressive and basically turn an advantage around.
Yeah, and I'm sure it would have been really good if the Empire tri-lane was calling who's got TPs. But anyway, action top.
Uh-oh, Tombstone dropped, Chaos Knight running, and a pause again. ... indeed. Well, this looks to be at least blow your brain dead. Chaos Knight should be able to get out of cold feet range, but this last auto attack is almost certainly going to kill him. He has a salve. Can he pop it in time? It's going to be close. I think he died. I think he may just barely live here, actually. One for one of the top lane.
I don't know. Level 2 chilling touch. So much damage.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, with the bonus damage from Chilly Touch, he probably is dead. Because it's met. Oh, no. Doesn't get a range for the last attack. Now the fight going the other way as the Wisp charges in, but they're fighting in the zombie pit. And this could be trouble. Silent gonna drop, most likely. He's dead. Now to Ancient Apparition, and it's just a wipe of the tri-lane. The solos may be winning their lanes, but a triple for the Undying of all heroes. Don't fight in the Tombstone, kids.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt so hard to just lose your tri-lane this heavily. And as you mentioned before, they're so lucky that they got Scandal and Vigos putting down some really good work on their lanes currently. But they're gonna have to be dangerous. Be careful, Scandal and Vigos, because I'm sure RoX.KIS might, start lending out the Rubik or seeing if they can move around a little bit. But so far...
Look at the golden experience graphs. 0 and 0. This game is dead even. I mean, that just shows you how hard the two solos, like you said, are winning their lanes. Because that tri-lane is getting smashed right now. I don't think I've ever seen a game this dead even with the lanes going such polar opposites. It's kind of a crazy dichotomy we have.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it could have gone really well for Empire if they just managed to pick up that first kill on Undying and just have a little bit of level advantage on their supports.
Yeah, Scandal finding a solo kill bottom, had the Ion Shell one creep and Ion Shell in his own here. No problem. And vacuums him in, waits until the last possible second, was waiting in case there was a skewer so he could vacuum him back mid-skewer, but ends up getting the kill. The skewer brings Scandal with him, not what you want when you're burning with Ion Shells. And now rotation in towards mid by Silent. What is he up to? No wards. Courier obviously too late to be sniped. Looking for a
but he might be looking just for a good tether to get a stun and chase down Firma.
There is a Warlock ult. Is he going to get it off though? Oh, the Silence, the Orb's not doing enough damage. They're only level 2. And Firma will barely die. Almost turn that around.
It's actually, when you actually have your spirits up and they're all close to you and you go in like that, it's so much damage when you get on a target just for a second. So it was really nice of the Wisp to actually set that one up for Vigos.
The Tombstone dropped again. Beezus is perfect in trouble. Down goes Goblek. Now on to Bloa, and the decay spam not going to be quite enough. It's more the Wisp who might need to be careful. Lifted back, thrown in. Actually, Ancient Apparition is respawning very soon, and there's a backstab coming in. A wild Vigos appears, orbs through, lots of damage. The tri-lane now going the other way, and miraculously, Silent will survive. Double kill for Tiny.
Oh, CK looking to try and get out of it. Vigos on the far left looking to get him. Oh, doesn't pick it up with the orb. But yeah.
If only the tether could make the puck orb move faster, then he would have had it.
But yeah, Wisp could be so dangerous when he comes into fights. Just even at level 3, when he's got 2 points into his spirits, it just does so much damage. And we saw that middle, we saw it top as well, help out Empire a little bit. But just going back to some of the items, currently Firma playing the Warlock mid is going for his mech really far behind, and bottom as we get Scandal in an RP by Squirm. He's also going for his mech. And he's just trying to get away right now. 2 points into Surge, so he should get enough distance and not enough mana. Maybe on
he's bottling up. Dem Nikes.
Oh, wow. Finish up the ulti.
That's
the RoX.
RP and RoX just for the Darkseer.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the kill, yes, but damn, they really had to work for that. And the big issue right now for RoX.KIS is with those two ults down, Empire has freedom to dive them anywhere on the map as soon as Wisp hits 6, which, in fact, Wisp just hit 6 off of that fight top. So, normally for RoX.KIS's lineup, if you dive them, you're probably getting wiped because there's RP, or at least losing whoever's ganking, because there's RP, there's the RoX to turn fights around. But without those, Empire should look to get really aggressive for the next 2.5 minutes or so. And
see what they can do. And out here comes middle.
Yeah, onto the Undying. In trouble. Orb's gonna bring him low at the Tombstone, just sitting there chilling, but this time it's no match for their burst damage.
And the random golem turns up to at least clear up some creeps.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yeah, avenging.
Yeah, I actually didn't have a chance to read chat as far as what got fixed with him, but I'm gonna look that up after this cast because I know huge changes. He went from like one of the lowest win rates in pubs to one of the highest, and albeit that doesn't measure a hero's competitive worthiness, but it means something was seriously wrong.
Yeah, so RoX.KIS are grouping up middle, but actually there's been really good warding from the Empire side, so they're very aware of what was happening just from the TPs in. So we'll probably see the whole of Empire team being able to turn up and try and defend this. Golem's now gone down.
Remember, there's no RP. That's a 3-hero Dream Coil tossing in the Wisp Bomb, who can now look to tether back in 2 seconds time. The Shockwave flies out, not quite enough damage. Biz on the run out. Tiny still chasing, tethered up to the Wisp, has the toss. Avalanche coin down in 5 seconds. They're probably baiting this, looking to turn around. Wisp picks up 1 kill with the orbs. Now still chasing. And they're going to turn around. They have the Avalanche toss combo. Rubik dropping low. God, if they only had those 2 ults, but unfortunately they don't.
There it is.
Oh, he jams it in! Kills off one screen. The Shockwave will clean it up. So many overextensions in this fight, but it's all for fun, and they're still not done yet. Vigas orbs one way, now jukes the other, has the auto attacks, has the silence with the haste rune, doesn't phase shift, he's gonna explode, but secures the kill while doing so. Tiny wants to run. Tiny, one more auto attack, he dies to the creeps. What is this game? 22 kills, 11 minutes in, and it feels like 40.
Yeah, I mean, Vigos set that one up as nicely as he could. With, was it 3 people he caught into his ulti? And it was kind of surprising that the Tiny played by, who is it?
Blow your brain. Blow your brain.
Yeah, blow your brain. Didn't end up kind of doing more, and he had a couple of good throw opportunities where he could have picked up the CK when he was running. But either way, yeah, just a really messy trade as we have another TP in middle with the Wisp and Tiny. And that Warlock not having a fun time this game.
You know, they tri-laned against the Wisp. It looked good at first. They had a triple on the Undying, but now things are not looking so good. There's a silence on the mag, so he cannot RP right now. He'll explode, he'll shatter before actually being able to. The Ancient Apparition will bring him low. Vigas orbing away, will survive. Zombie giving chase, trying to bottle up. A pack of zombies runs him down. I think he's going to die to them. We'll have to see if he can actually live through that. No, the zombies get him in the end. Now the zombies get it Undying. This looks like a horror movie. The Walking Dead are afoot. Now on to Scandal, who's Ion Shelled. A pack of zombies also surrounds him. Finally, the Tombstone wears off. That Tombstone almost got them 4 kills. Holy guacamole.
Yep, so just classic Russian Dota here. Just everyone go mid with knives and take a fight. Well, sorry, that's not Russian Dota. That's just my experience of clubbing in Russia. But yeah, so I mean, what do you make of the items so far, and kind of what both teams need to do? Anything you see? Because currently RoX.KIS just want to get rid of this mid tower. They've come a few times, they've had a few fights, and they're back again.
I mean, the big thing to keep in mind is that they used RP and Warlock Gold just to kill Scandal, and he still has a mech and another 1100 gold already. And they have the Ancient Apparition hold on their side, so that mech is almost certainly going off every single fight, unless they blow everything on Darkseer, in which case they're ignoring the CK, or the Tiny Wisp, they're ignoring that big chain stun combo, and I mean, you really can't afford to do that.
Chilling Touch is up.
Yeah. Fight is already secured for them with the Chilling Touch. Tossing in the Wisp again. Warlock ult, mag skewers in, vacuum back, but he just explodes in the Ancient Apparitional. Cannot do a damn thing. Now Yo goes in, maybe saying YOLO, but he should be saying dead Dolo, because he's freaking dead. You only die. No, that doesn't even make sense. Whatever. Yodo, you only die once. There you go. That's what I meant. Sorry, James.
Yeah. And and you can see now the power of the 2 solo lanes actually winning quite hardly. You've got Scandal with the mech in that fight. Obviously, you know, they have the AA ulti in there as well. So even if they did have a mech on the other side on the Warlock, which they don't on Firma, wouldn't have really helped. But yeah, Scandal with the mech, making a big difference. And also, Vigos has been playing great so far. He's picked up his Blink Dagger. He's been able to be super effective in damage output in most of his fights and staying alive as long as possible. So having also a really good game. And you can see Scandal's net worth now 6,000, followed by Vigos on 5,400, Blow Your Brains on 5,000, and even the Wisp is pretty high up there for their team at 3,800. So big differences now, and Empire just it looks like they should just be able to walk over the rest of the game, really, despite losing their tri-lane. I would be very surprised if the RPs and the RoC from the Warlock firmware would make a big difference, because the cooldown's just so long on the RoC. I mean, the RP will be up soon.
Yeah, here comes the relocate.
Gank bot. Yeah.
Well, that was a sad undying. No decays for you. And this hero really drops off against this level of burst damage, and Haste to Tiny continuing to give chase.
And even if Undying was going for pipe, he's not going to see it in a long, long time. Not before they've lost a lot more towers.
Yeah, the issue for RoX.KIS is their lineup was really built heavily around the two solos doing reasonably well, the Mag and the Warlock, and then going 5-man. I mean, the way you want to execute this kind of draft is group up as 5 and start taking the towers while RP and Warlock ult are up. The problem is they blew both of those to kill the Darkseer after losing those two solo lanes, which the Darkseer beating Mag is kind of inevitable. The other lane, a little bit more even, but still maybe a slight edge to the puck. I think he was actually... I mean, Vigos just played exceptionally well in that lane, and, you know...
I would have preferred to see the Warlock at bottom, and actually the Magnus mid.
Yeah, the Magnus really did suffer from not being able to get runes. He also couldn't bottle crows easily. And then they're going to go Ancient Apparition ult after the Avalanche. Vacuumed in! Hey, ult hits everybody! It's just an instant team wipe, basically. And they're diving the base. I mean, this may just be Rax in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
I think it's already going to be GG. I can't imagine them wanting to play on and try and defend. On the plus side, they do have low respawn timers, so they can die again shortly. I mean, defend. But yeah, it's just going to go bad from worse here. They're not going to get anywhere to farm because there's a Wisp tiny. So even if they want to try and get out and get some, farms in the lanes, they're going to have constantly that to deal with. And the AoE, the fighting that they have in terms of just AoE Empire is now a lot stronger. If it wasn't already stronger than RoX.KIS, they really rely on the RP and the Warlock's RoC. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
and just checking the Chaos Knight as well. Yeah, it's just currently Braces, hasn't even finished drums at 16 minutes and a half in. So I'm expecting this one to be cooled pretty soon. GG any minute, as Adebisi would say.
I was literally about to say the exact same thing. Yeah, Scandal sitting on the Blink Dagger, which you already have Toss, now you've got Blink and Tether as well. They just have most ridiculous gap closing, plus Relocate, which we're seeing now, onto Yol, surrounded, 3 or 4 nukes. RP, so he actually got silenced mid-cast, didn't get it off. Now will RP completely whiffs that one, does not accomplish a damn thing. Undying will buy back immediately, looks to rejoin the fight. Dreamcoil catching out 4, but where's the follow-up? There is none for now. They also bait out the Warlock ultimate, and now they come in. They're fighting into the Warlock ult. They're fighting into an Undying who could drop his tombstone. Has not done so yet. Now he's silenced. They all get vacuumed in, taking so much damage. That was a buyback. Undying dies again. 4 kills, and Jesus Christ, the bloodbath will end. Wow, that was just brutal to watch.
Yeah, they had Scandal and Vigos making the difference with their solo lane heroes. And as I mentioned, I would have liked to have seen the Warlock go bottom versus the Darkseer, just because you would easily be able to survive with the heal. And of course, sure, you probably wouldn't win the last hits, but if the Warlock actually came anywhere near the creeps, maybe you could Fatal Bond. Sorry, if the Darkseer came near the creeps, maybe you could Fatal Bond, and that's quite an annoyance. And that actually helps a little bit, but yeah. It's the Scandal and Vigos make the huge amount of difference.
I mean, to echo your point, it actually makes a lot of sense the more you think about it, because Magnus has better rune control than Warlock. Yes, he's a melee hero, but he has Skewer. He also can push the wave. He can actually outpush a puck because Shockwave is very spammable. You can't really harass the puck, but Warlock can't leave the lane, and they were running an offensive tri-lane with the CK, which means the tri-lane can't really leave the lane, because if they do, then the AA Wisp is going to come in with the Tiny and start picking off the supports while they're checking the runes. So, yeah, I think it would have made a difference, but how much? Hard to say. Giving away this kind of lineup is very difficult to deal with, especially the Darkseer.
The only reason I'm saying this is because I'm not very knowledgeable, but I just pretend to be, as you all might figure. But actually, I shouldn't talk about practice games, because practice games mean nothing. But Select played a Warlock safe lane versus Scandal's off-lane Darkseer, and Select free Odin solo and kills. And
Proofs
so
in the pudding.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a practice game. It doesn't really matter. I felt that could have been a nice difference for RoX.KIS, and then if they at least won 2 of their 3 lanes, or had a better lanes, as you mentioned with the Warlock and the Magnus, winning their offensive tri lane could have really helped them out. But Empire just ran away with it.
Yeah,
Really
I mean,
did
just
run away with it.
just showing their experience as a team and showing that even without Funnick, they still are comfortable playing, a lot of the same heroes. I gotta say, Vegas was very impressive. 9-2 and 18. They had 32 kills. He was involved in 27 of them, and he did it going solo mid. Barely any CS for anybody because, hey, this is Russian Dota. Why kill creeps when you can kill heroes? So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We have more Starladder coming up. I'm LD. He's James. If you want to follow him, twitter.com/follow2gd. James, any shout-outs, plugs, etc.?
Oh, are we done now? Was it a best of 1?
Yeah, it's a best of 1 for Starladder.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Well done, Empire. No shout-outs.
No shout-outs.
Apart from Piri and Flax.
Okay. Shout out to Period Flax for calling gods out and saying skirmishes.
And gods.
Jay-
And Winter.
And Winter. Okay.
Piri Flax, Winter, and Gods are by far my favorite commentators
Yeah.
ever.
Anybody else you want to put on that list?
No, I don't think there's anyone else that really stands out. Draskell's pretty good. Wepaz is okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I agree.
But I mean, I was talking about more of the people over in America. Those 3
specifically
really,
American commentators that are good.
Yeah.
AC's pretty awesome as well.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah. Luminous is good as well.
Wow. Yeah, you're telling me. I just don't think there's anyone that can compete with AC's voice in play-by-play, and Luminous's knowledge is brilliant. I mean, if you don't do play-by-play as good as AC, and you don't do knowledge as good as Luminous and Gods, you're just kind of washy middle, and no one cares about you, really. You could probably just disappear, and no one would notice if you're that kind of commentator. But, shout out to all those guys. They're brilliant. And thanks. Oh, shit, I forgot your name.
All right, we're out. Thanks for coming on, James. Well, guys, we'll see you more Starladder coming up soon.